Hello everyone, welcome to your weekly tech update, the show that explores the newest, coolest, and craziest side of tech available on the interwebs. I'm your Knockout League addict, Ray McNeil. Serious, I can't seem to get enough of that game. Coming up on the program today, a PGA Tour AR app puts a golf course on your coffee table. NASA would like your help checking its own satellites. And happening in this week's What The, a woman was arrested for driving under the influence on the way to her own wedding. Yeah, that and a whole lot more coming up on your weekly tech update next. Hi everyone, sports and augmented reality apps are nothing new. The technology has been used for quite a while now by the NBA, NFL, and even German soccer teams to promote their respective leagues, with the results varying from the gimmicky to the interesting. Now the PGA has its own AR app, and it's available on iOS. It's going to let you watch real-time shot trails appear on selected holes during live competition. You can also compare up to 4 different players' shots if that's your thing. PGA Tour AR uses your iPhone camera and iOS 11's AR kit to place a virtual map of 6 different golf holes onto any flat surface in your home. The app currently has hole 7 from the Pebble Beach Golf Links, hole 6 from Bay Hill Club and Lodge, TPC Sawgrasses, hole 16, 17, and 18, and the 18th hole from the East Lake Golf Club on offer. The PGA plans to add more holes as time goes on and hopes to feature 1 hole for every tournament on this year's PGA Tour. So far, all you can do is place a golf course on your coffee table, which seems kind of limited in appeal. However, an update to this app later this year is set to enable on-course AR, where you can hold up your device in front of any hole to see shot data from selected golfers live or from an archive. Other additions may include AR maps to help you find venues, merchandise stands, and concessions, or even find specific players on a given golf course. Of course, there's also potential for displaying branded data for each hole, highlight video clips, and 360-degree views of various products. What parent hasn't gotten up in the middle of the night to feel their child's head when they have a fever? Parenting is stressful enough without worrying about your sick child's temperature during the night. Greta Cruiser and her medical engineer husband found this out firsthand when their 3-year-old daughter had a viral infection that caused a high fever that led to convulsions. Febrile convulsion is not the absolute height of the temperature, but the fast rise of it. These proactive parents decided to do something to help other parents along the way and came up with Degree, the first wearable in-ear thermometer that offers continuous temperature monitoring. Some of the benefits include knowing if your child's temperature is increasing or decreasing at any moment. Parents can relax through the night knowing that they will receive an alarm if the temperature is too high or even rises too fast. Know the effects of your treatment, know how long it takes for treatments to work, and once your child wears Degree, you can see every change of the body temperature on your smartphone with the app. You won't wake a sick child anymore in the middle of the night for no reason. And you can see if your child's temp is on a curve, which helps you understand where the temperature is trending. What's not to love? You can learn more about Degree at their Indiegogo campaign and pre-order your own right now for $122 with delivery slated for summer of 2018. How cool is this? Since October, a mysterious flying object has been seen moving through the skies over the South Island of New Zealand. It looks like a cross between a small plane and a drone with a series of small rotors along each wing that allows it to take off like a helicopter and then fly like an airplane. To those on the ground, it's been unclear whether there was actually a pilot on board. Well, it turns out that the airborne vehicle has been part of a series of stealth test flights by a company personally financed by Larry Page. He's the co-founder of Google and now the chief executive officer of Google's parent company, Alphabet. The company, known as Kitty Hawk and run by Sebastian Thrun, who helped start Google's autonomous car unit as the director of Google X, has been testing a new kind of fully electric, self-piloting flying taxi. This is an altogether different project from the one you might have seen last year of a single-seat recreational aircraft that was being tested over the water, and it's much more ambitious too. Imagine starting a network of autonomous air taxis as Uber is planning to do, but long before Uber actually does it. That's what Mr. Page is trying to do with this project. Until now, you wouldn't know the air taxis in New Zealand had anything to do with Mr. Page. The planes operate there in what has been a covert project under a company called Zephyr Airworks. Now that project is going public. The company and the Prime Minister of New Zealand have announced that they have reached an agreement to test Kitty Hawk's autonomous planes as part of an official certification process. The hope is that it will lead to a commercial network of flying taxis within New Zealand in as soon as 3 years. A number of rival companies have been laying the groundwork for air taxis. In November, Boeing acquired Aurora Flight Sciences. Airbus made an investment 2 weeks ago in Blade, an aviation startup in New York. Dubai formed a partnership with the Chinese company Ehang. And, of course, Uber has an entire division called Uber Elevate. For those who follow the progress in this field, technologists, flight enthusiasts, and billionaires seeking to transform the skies, it was thought that Mr. Page had been testing flights of a new self-piloting plane only in Northern California. In fact, several reports and images revealed the existence of a newfangled aircraft last year from a company based there called Z-Aero that was associated with Mr. Page. The mystery of what has been going on in New Zealand has quietly created a stir among those in the area. Kitty Hawk set up Zephyr in 2016 and has been in discussions under a non-disclosure agreement with regulators there for the past 18 months now. There has been some speculation about the origin of Zephyr because it does list its chief executive officer as Fred Reed, who had also been listed as president of Z-Aero. Mr. Page's ambitions to create taxis in the sky has a sense of gravity. Excuse the pun, not just because of his deep pockets and the technological prowess of his team, but also because of Mr. Reed, who is a former chief executive of Virgin America. Before that, he was president of Delta Airlines. In an interview, Mr. Reed said the opportunity to use New Zealand as the first place to commercialize the autonomous taxi was a step change in the advancement of the sector. Kitty Hawk is already working on an app that would allow customers to hail one of its air taxis. The aircraft, known as Cora, has a wingspan of 36 feet with a dozen rotors, all powered by batteries. It can fly about 62 miles and carry 2 passengers. The plan, at least for now, isn't for Kitty Hawk to sell the vehicles. It wants to own and operate a network of them all itself. But before anyone gets too excited or nervous about this Jetsons-like future, just know that virtually every prediction about how quickly air taxis would arrive has been dead wrong. Just last year, Dubai said Ehang would begin operating an autonomous flying taxi service last July. Well, it never happened.